Welcome to Hazen Barrel Craftworks, here on the Hazen Barrel Homestead and our humble whiskey room. I'm the Alchemist. Happy Friday, y'all. We made it through the first week of December, and here in South Dakota, we made it through another cold week of December. And what we're doing this week is exploring some whiskeys of winter. And I thought it fitting to end the week with, well, a Midwinter's Night's Dram. And this one is a blend from High West Distillery out of Utah. And a Midwinter's Night's Dram is a blend of 95.5 MGP, but then High West's own 80% rye as well. And it's kind of a fun bottle, in my opinion, because it obviously is playing off Shakespeare. And when you read the back of the label, they play off it a little bit. And it says, like the works of our favorite playwright, William Shakespeare, a glass of a Midwinter Night's Dram is made to be savored and over all too quickly. This is a limited release whiskey, is a sumptuous marriage of rye whiskeys finished in port barrels. The rye forms a beautiful base of vanilla, caramel, and cinnamon, while the port barrels provide notes of plum and dried fruit and spice. Like a proper holiday plum pudding, it's brimming with lovely mulling spices, dried fruits, and cream angele. Sip it slowly through the coldest nights. So I love that they're playing off Shakespeare a little bit. You can see it on the label where they've got a little Shakespeare play picture there, or Shakespeare-esque type picture, and it's kind of fun for me. So let's give ourselves a pour, and let's see what kind of notes a guy like me can get off of this one. And we're getting into a little bit more of a darker whiskey here, whereas the liqueur we had on Wednesday was lighter and sweeter. And we'll see if I'm cocktail inspired with this one as well, so we can round out next week with a Friday cocktail as well. Of course, this is quite a bit more expensive of a spendy of a bottle, so it'll be a spendy cocktail, but if we're going to round out the week, we're going to round out the week. Nice legs on this one. Boy, that's nice. So right off the bat, I'm getting rye. I'm going to go in for a few sips, let things open up. Well, that's an interesting sweetness. Not exactly a spot on like what I usually call a rye candy sweetness. I'm going to have to attribute it to the port barrels, because to me it's more of a fruity wine sweetness, but the sweetness is nice. And it does make a nice, wintry, or if you think of the holidays right now, a nice holiday sweetness. because it's fruity. Kind of a you know, if you've ever had, if you remember those cookie, the fig Newton cookies, a little bit on that fig, sweet fig Newton. The not, I don't get the cookie part, but that sweet fig that was in the filling that was in the middle of those. And now as I nose it, I get a hint of that same with some cinnamon on the nose and a hint of sweet vanilla in there as well. On the palate, I'm not getting the vanilla I get on the nose, but I am getting cinnamon. Cinnamon and that fig, and it goes all the way to the back of the palate. And on the back of the palate, to me anyway, it's more of a I'll just say a wine barrel finish on the back of the palate. But the front of the palate, still that sweet fruit, which is really nice. And this whole time here, I've kind of been thinking in the back of my mind since I started the week by saying, "Oh, I've got these cocktails." I'm pondering a cocktail to make with this one, a warm cocktail, and it's not hitting me as immediately as with the first two. But I've got a few ideas. I've got to round them up. I got to round them off. I got to think about it a little bit more, but I'll come up with a cocktail idea. I've got some things mulling around in my mind, and before next Friday hits, I'll have that cocktail idea, a warm winter cocktail. So we'll round up next week with 3 fun warm winter cocktails. I guarantee it. Yeah, we will. But for this one, yeah, suspend your bottle. It's good. I was expecting to be honest, I was expecting it to be a bit more complex, especially after reading the back of the label. I'm not getting all of those notes for myself, but everyone's palate is different. I did get a bit of a fig note and some cinnamon. I got a little bit of vanilla on the nose, but it didn't come through on the palate. I'm not completely disappointed with it. I was just hoping for more of what I read. But I'm certainly going to continue sipping this one and finishing off that bottle. It will not go to waste. It's got nice legs, not quite as viscous as what I thought it was going to be, judging on the legs. But also not disappointing on the viscosity. It's just not as incredibly creamy as I like them usually. especially for this price point. But it's not going to go to waste. I will continue to sip this bottle. Decent winter expression. But as you all know, I love to have you all coming back around. So please, if you would, hit that like, subscribe, and that bell. And if you wouldn't mind, give me a share to some friends. But most of all, please, take it easy. Don't drink and drive. Cheers.